Hey guys, welcome to Piece of Art and Soul Studio. So glad you're here and you're watching the free to watch once a month thing that I do here. And I want to go ahead and show you how to do this beautiful boot and how you can make it your own. So we're going to use acrylics and watercolors. So I found these really cool watercolors at Michael's and they were on sale. So I bought watercolors because I love watercolors. I love how you can use watercolors for many, many things, and you can use it for multimedia stuff too. So I bought some shimmy ones, and then some regular ones. And so we're going to use those today, but we're also going to use acrylic paint. But first I want to show you how to do the design on how to transfer your design with the tracer. And I will also, hold on, my dog. Bella. No, ma'am. Seriously? Oh. Why do you have to do that? Huh? No. Sorry. She's always got to bark at everybody that walks by. Anyway, sorry about that. My dog is crazy. Let's just put it that way. She's always crazy. Anyways, so I'm going to show you how to trace it, and I'm going to give you this tracer for free. And as soon as we're done with this live. So, and I'm just going to kind of come over here and tuck these under, but I'm also going to take my tape. Now, I could not find my masking tape because, yeah, things have been super crazy lately for me. And so I just got back from a small little vacation. And so I'm trying to get back into the groove of things, and I couldn't find my tape. So we're going to use this type of tape. It's just, you can use any type of tape you want, but this is just kind of like duct tape in a way. I just wanted to make sure it doesn't take off, or be able to take it off when I'm ready to take it off. So I'm just going to fold this on the back of my canvas and take a little bit of the tape and tape it. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm live on the places that I need to be live at. I should be on YouTube, and I also should be on my YouTube channel, and I should also be on Facebook. So, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel by clicking that little subscribe button, and then the little, to get alerts and stuff of when I do go live, you press the little bell that's down there. I do a lot of these live events once a month to kind of give you guys a variety of what to do, give you some good ideas on, creative ways of doing things. And I try to do them once a month, and I haven't been doing them. And I just started up doing them again. So now my front of my thing's covered. Let me move my camera a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'll make this tension on here. There we go. So you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to move this back so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. That is better. Okay. So I'm going to make sure we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Let's see. Let me go here. Okay. Should be live here. Yep, it says I'm live. Great. And then I should be live here. So I'm going to show you a little bit. I showed you a sneak peek. Yes, we are live. Awesome. Okay, so I showed you a sneak peek of what I was working on, and it's actually a island that I'm going to be working on soon, and it's not done yet because I didn't finish it. I thought I was going to finish it, but I guess I didn't get to finish it. So, but I will be posting that soon, and that's going to be the next, probably the next month's free to watch. I'm going to make sure we're good to go and I'm not crowding. Okay. So here's my design, and you will get this for free, this tracer for free. And you can see the dotted lines. And what I like to do is I like to just cut it. I like to cut the bottom piece. I don't care about the top piece. I care about the bottom piece. So I'm just going to cut it with the dotted line, on the dotted line. And I'm showing you how to do this so when you get the tracer, you can do it yourself. And if you are watching, just come in, say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. And I'll say hi back. And then I also just do this part right here, the dotted line. I don't care about the bottom. I care about the top because I want to line up my design to tape them together. There. Okay. So this is my design. It's just a boot. And I'm going to want to put it together. And this is on an 11 by 14. So this is an 11 by 14. So I want to put it together because I'm going to do my own wood in the background. And I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute. So I want it kind of in the middle. So once I want one piece down that I want, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tape it down with my tape, my purple tape. I know. I think I haven't even unpacked from last weekend. So I'm still kind of in like unpacking mode of all my stuff from the vendors event that I did. Because I literally left the next day after my event. So yeah. Okay. So my tape is probably in my hand still. I want it as straight as I can get it. So I'm going to go ahead and tape it down where I want it. I want to make sure that's straight. Okay. Always want to make sure it's straight. If it doesn't look straight to you, you can move it around until it looks straight for you. Now this one, I don't want to tape on the design, but what I do want to do is I want to tape it together. So I'm going to put some tape right here and right here. And I feel like this is a little crooked. So let me redo this one. I'm going to look at it. Sometimes it takes just looking at it to see if it's going to be crooked. Okay, there. Now it's not so crooked. It looked crooked there for a minute. And this design is really, this tracer is really easy to do, really easy to follow. There's not much steps in doing this, but this is the important part because you want to trace your design to your canvas. So I'm just going to stick those together, and then I'm going to go over here and put another one over here, and then I'll put it together so that it won't slide around for extra enforcement. Okay, that's together. There we go. And now I'm just going to put tape on the side so that it's taped to the thing and doesn't move around. I'm going to grab 2 of these. Okay. So now I'm going to tape it over here like so. And it might come up a little bit, so you might have to just hold it to press down on it so that it goes, so it doesn't fade when you do it. Okay, so now that's together. We're going to go ahead and tape the top just in case. Sometimes it'll come off at the top, and then if you're not pressing down hard enough, it'll come up. So we're just going to go ahead and tape the top. All right, and now we're going to get to tracing. I'm going to grab a pen, a different color pen. Now, I suggest using like a red, purple, pink pen because you are going to want to know where your lines are. So what I like to do is I like to use a blue pen, or I like to use a red pen. I don't have a red pen, so I'm going to use a blue pen, and I will just start tracing at the bottom. So now you see that it's coming up. Make sure you hold on to it and press down. And I use a different color pen because, quite frankly, if you don't, if you use black pen, then you're not really going to know where your design starts and where it ends. And then sometimes I miss some spots. So it does help if I use a different color pen. Okay. And I usually start at the bottom and I work my way up. Now I am going to put the lines here for the wood in the background, because I do want a little bit of the line so I know where my wood is going to be, my wood background is going to be. But for the most part, you don't have to if you don't want to, if you're really good at making sure you know where your lines are, and you can line them up easily. But sorry, I hear like crunching noises. I don't know what it is. And my dog's over there, so I'm like, oh, it's the mowing. Someone's mowing the grass. So now I'm going to do the bottom to kind of give my boot something to stand on, I guess. And I'm just going to do these lines right here. I'm not going to do too much. This is an easy design. I'm not going to do too much because, like I said, I'm going to, oops, did I just color my, I did. Oh, well. I'm not going to do too much because I am going to go over it, and I'm going to make my own little wood piece in the background. But I am going to do some of these lines just to kind of give it that texture look to it. And then I'm going to show you how to do it. So now I am going to do the design on the boot. So that is something I am going to be doing. So I'm going to trace the design on the boot, because this is the etching part of the boot and it makes it look like a boot. So that is what we're doing. And it's just like little circles here. I'm like almost done. And then we'll get to painting. And I chose a 11 by 14 because it's easier and it's smaller. And it's one of my favorite ones. It's also one of my popular sizes because you can handle it really well. So yeah. All right. And if you're rewatching, that's totally okay too. If this is the replay, just put hashtag replay. Let me know you're watching and where you're watching from. I always like to know like where people are watching from. Okay. And then we're just going to do a little bit of the lines right here. Okay. So now we are done. We're going to go ahead and take a little, let me make sure. Did I do the lines up here? Probably not. Yep, almost forgot the lines up here. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take off our stuff for the design. And this can be thrown away. You don't need to reuse it. You can reuse it if you want. You don't have to. All right. There is our design ready to go. And we are going to start painting. So make sure you have water. You're going to want and I'll give you the supply list below. Actually, I'll probably give you the supply list here in a little bit. But if you want to do watercolors, I suggest Watercolors. I have some shimmering watercolors. Now we're going to do a Christmas theme because I want to do this boot as a Christmas theme. So I'm going to use Christmas colors, but you don't have to. You can use whatever colors you want. And I'm going to show you how to add a little bit of decoration to your piece when you're painting or whatnot. So this will be fun. Okay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Now I want to do the background kind of like a rustic look to it. So I'm going to actually do acrylic paint in the background so that I can make my wood piece in the background. So let me go ahead and pop up my photo here so that I can see how to do it. Cancel, exit out. So I'm just going to pop up my little country boot and I'm going to do a side by side so I can see you guys' comments. So I'm going to use a lot of blues and a lot of dark and light colors. So first I'm going to use raw sienna for the wood piece in the background. And then I'm also going to use some, not copper, not gold. Where's my other stuff? Oh, I just got new paints in because I ran a little bit low. Oh, burnt sienna. So I'm going to do some burnt sienna. And I'm going to add a little white to some of that so that I can make it a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to kind of do some blue. So I'm going to put the blue on here. I'm actually going to do black because I'm going to be outlining it with black. And then the boot is going to kind of be like a watercolor to it. Green. Okay, maybe my blues in here. Oops. Let's do a cobalt blue. And maybe like maybe this uranium blue too. Ultramarine blue. So we're gonna do that. It's kind of like a sea blue in a way. So we're gonna just do a little bit of that. And then we're just gonna go ahead and outline our background. So we're gonna outline our lines here with black. I'm actually going to do another. So let me go ahead and draw another. And it's okay if you need to draw a little bit on your canvas. Totally okay. I just want to draw a little bit on here so I know where my lines are at. Okay, there we go. So now we're just going to kind of do the lines now. We're going to do the lines. That way we know where we need to put our browns and stuff. So let me go ahead and I could do a flat brush or I could do a liner brush. I'll probably end up doing a liner brush. Grab a liner brush and dip it in the black. And we're just going to start at the bottom. So we're going to start at the bottom where the boot is. And what I like about doing multimedia is that you can totally do it however you want. I can easily do a white water wash over my pieces of wood if I wanted to. So I'm just kind of going over the lines first. That way I get a feel of like what I'm going to do. And that way I have a point of start or start of whatever point. A starting point of start. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I have a pointing start with my lines here. And then I can go back over it with my background. Also, we're going to outline the boot with black too. I haven't got on here to paint in a while, guys. Like I have been super busy, and so yeah, it's been very hectic, and I haven't been able to do any free stuff lately. So I'm going to try to do these once a month if I can. So I'm just going to kind of go over these little guys here. I'll go back over these in a little bit, but I just want to get my outline first. Because this will be like part of the wood or whatnot. So I'm just kind of getting my outline going here. All right. You guys are having a great Friday. I know I originally had this scheduled for Wednesday, but I realized that I was on vacation and I couldn't do it in the hotel. So I was like, oh, darn, I rebooked again or overbooked again. I do that very, very, very much because usually I'm pretty good about, making sure that I'm not overbooked. But that kind of happened this week. So my apologies if you're kind of coming in this a little late. And I know it is a little late. So okay. So now almost done. Just kind of going over. Oh, all right. There we go. So we got our background. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to our piece of wood. So I like to use a flat brush for this. So you can use either a round flat brush or a square flat brush. I'm going to use a square flat brush. Okay. So we're just going to kind of go over, and I'm going to mix some white in this. So to make it a little lighter. So I'm going to mix some white in this a little bit to give it like a little white streaks and make it look like wood. Okay. We're also going to use some stencils today too. Thought it'd be cool to add a little stencil to this. So we're just going to start on the bottom. We're going to go back and forth like this, like a pencil. And I'm just kind of dipping it in the white, dipping it in the tan color. And it's okay if you go into the black because you kind of want a little bit of that black. You don't want it to be like totally straightforward. You want it to kind of blend together. So we're just gonna continue to dip it in our it's the raw sienna color. It's kind of like a tan color and the white. So we're just continuously dipping, making it, and it's okay if you get in the black, how you want to blend it together. So I want it to be blended a little bit to make it look like wood. So it's okay if you get in the black, and if you get some of the black out, it's okay because you're going to want to, like I said, blend it a little more to make it look like wood. And to make it look like wood, you're going to now take your, don't rinse it, just take your brown and kind of do a little stripes here and there. To kind of make it look like wood. And then if you want to do a darker brown, you can do a darker brown. Do I have a darker brown? I do. I have a burnt ombre, so I could do a little bit of brown to make little like wood spots if I wanted to. So to do that, you're just going to take it in your brush and you're going to just do a little bit here. Doesn't matter how you do it, just a little bit here, a little bit there to give it the brown spot look to it. And if you want to do a few little lines right here, you could. To kind of just give it the wood look to it. And then if you want to dip it in your blue a little bit, you can. And do a little bit of blue right here. Maybe some blue over here. Just so give it that rustic look to it. There we go. And that's kind of the bottom piece. So yeah. All right, just keep doing that. You're just going to keep doing that. You're going to rinse your brush out a little bit. And you're going to do the same process on each one of the planks. So you can do however you like on the planks. If you want it to be a darker color, you could do a darker color. It's totally up to you. So like I could come in here and just do some darker colors if I wanted to. Like if I wanted a darker color to it. It's totally your canvas. You do what you feel like you want to do. So we're going to just do the rest of this. And I'm going to go over around my boot when I'm doing this. Okay. You can see this was a different color than this one over here, which is okay. The planks don't all have to be the same color if you don't want them to be. And I'm just going to get in here with the blue a little bit. Do some blue. There we go. That looks good. And once you think it looks good, just keep moving up, up, and up, and up until you finish your planks. So I'm going to put it in some brown here. There we go. I'm going to go around my my boot as carefully as I can with my tan. There we go. And I'm going to put a little more brown in there, or brown, a little bit of brown too. So same goes. Oops, I forgot a spot right here. Don't forget underneath between the boot. There's also a little spot right there, so don't forget that. The same goes up here. Dip it back into the white. You don't need a lot of paint with this one. And then we're going to do the watercolors for the boots. I'm going to show you how to do a multimedia look to your canvas. And I'm going to show you how to add embellishment, like to embellish your stuff. And we're going to use stencils today too, to kind of give it a little more sprucing. That's a funny word. Sprucing. There we go. I just want to make sure there's no white left over here. And don't be afraid to go into the black, because that's what you're going to want to make it look kind of rustic. You want to make it look a little rustic, so you're going to want to kind of go into the black a little bit. Not too much. If you don't like it too much, then I suggest not going in there too much with it. See, that's a little too much for me. Too much. And it's okay if I go over my lines, because I'm going to go back over it with some details. All right, so you're gonna just continue to go up until you're satisfied with the way your background looks. I'm going to just kind of go over those circles. It's okay. Not a big deal. Just want to make sure I'm letting you guys know that that's okay. If you go over some of your lines, totally okay. Go. I need more white on my canvas. So we are almost done. I'm gonna make sure we're still okay. Almost done with the background. I just need a little more white. I was running out of white. I kind of make it look a little rustic. Oh, I think I just overdid that one. That's okay. All right, let's do the top one. I'm kind of going over the line. It's okay because it's going to be redone when it dries. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in and do a little bit of dark spots and a little bit of lighter spots. So if I wanted to do that, I can just kind of do a little bit here with my brush. Just little, nothing too dramatic, just okay. And then I can go back over it with a little bit of white if I want to, or I can dip it in my blue. So I can do the lighter blue and I could do a little bit of blue on my canvas. And then I can blend it in by just wiping off my brush a little bit and just kind of blend it in a little. Then I'm taking in the other little blue and then do a little more over here. And rinse my brush off a little bit. There we go. Until you like what you see, just continue to kind of do the brushing of the stroking of your paintbrush. And then if you like what you like, then we can move on to the boot. And I think I'm good. I don't think I need to add any more to my background. I will add the little lines and stuff for the pieces of planks of wood. I'll go back over it once it's dry. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush. Now we're going to change over to our watercolors. Now watercolors are different. So with watercolors, I like to use a little palette. So I like to use like one of these little palettes that I found. So I use one of these little palettes and I actually use it like this with my finger in it. And I'm just going to kind of use this to mix my, my watercolors the way I want them. Now I want a red boot. So because we're doing a Christmas boot, I'm going to do a red boot. So I'm going to want my little thing, but I'm also going to use my little brush that comes with this, but I'm going to use a flatter brush. And I'm going to use the color red. So I'm going to use this red. And what you do is you take your water, you dip your brush in the water, and then you dip it in the red. So I'm going to grab the red, and I'm just going to kind of simply go over my boot with red. Now, it doesn't look like it's on there, but here's the fun thing about watercolors is that the more you put on here and you let dry, it'll show up better. So I'm just using, I'm just using the red, and I'm kind of just brushing over it. Now I will outline everything else in acrylic. Now, if I want more red to my boot, I can just simply not put water down and use just a little more of the red. So I'm just filling in this with my red watercolor. It just kind of gives it a different look to it. And that's kind of why I like doing the multimedia type of stuff. Because you can use more water to make it lighter, or you can use less water to make it brighter. So right now I'm using less water. Now you need a little bit of water to make it go. So I suggest putting a little bit of water and then adding more color to it. Now that's going to be brown, so we're going to leave that alone. And I'm going to kind of go over this with a little bit of shiny stuff too. Ooh, I like this. So now I'm going to take my shiny stuff that I have. I would leave this open a little bit. I'm going to take the shiny red that I have in here, and I'm going to use the shiny red to it. I like how it's looking so far. So I'm going to use the shining red. It's a little pale, but it kind of gives it like a shine to it. Ooh, my ear itches. Now you can make your boot whatever color you want. I'm doing red for Christmas though, because it's a Christmas boot. And I'm making this a little shinier so you can see the shine in it. My little metallic color watercolors. All right, so now you're going to want to go ahead and rinse your brush, and we're going to do the boot part right here. We're going to do it in brown. Actually, I'm going to do the bottom piece black. Actually, just do it brown. We'll do it brown. So I'm going to do the bottom piece brown. So I'm going to just take my paintbrush and I'm going to put it in the brown color. We're just going to, usually it's black, but we're going to do brown to it. So we've got brown on that one. Let's see if I can't find a dark. There's a darker brown. I found a darker brown. So here's a darker brown. And this up here is brown too. Almost looks like acrylic paint, but it's not. There we go. Make that a little deeper down here. And the more you have on your paintbrush, the less water you have, the more vibrant your colors are going to be. All right, there we go. We have our boot now. And now we can start, wait for it to dry. I love how it came out. Like, as you can see, it came out definitely different than usual. That's why I like using multimedia type of stuff. So, all right, go ahead and rinse your brush out. And now we'll wait for this to dry, and then we'll go over it with, I think we'll do it with white. I think we'll do white for the stitching, and then this part will go over black. And then I'll go over this with black. And then I'll add some evergreens to it, a little, some little Christmas decorations to it. And I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute. So, all right. While we wait, I want to show you guys what came in. So I'm kind of going off of it with this one right here, except that this one's different because it's got the wood pieces in the back. But this is kind of what I'm kind of combining both of them. This is one of my social artworking designs that I do every Christmas. So it's a very popular Christmas one I have. But I also got some new ones in. So this one's new. This is for a sleigh, and I'm going to be starting to take bookings for sleighs here in the next few weeks. Very popular to do your own sleigh, and I show you and teach you how to do it. So I'm excited about that. And then this one is new. This is a rooster one. Thought this was cute, and I cannot wait to paint this one. Then I have the very popular Highland cow. Now this is very popular, and I want to actually do a class on this. So I'm going to be posting a paid class so you can come and do this with me online. So it's going to be $10 to pay for me to teach you this. So I'm excited about that. This one's really, really popular. So yeah, this one's like a really popular one, and I really love that one. And it looks complicated, but it really is not as complicated as I thought it was because I read the instructions. And yeah. All right. So I'm just going to base off my instructions off of this now, because now I'm going to be doing, what was that? Was that you, Marcus?
Yes. Sorry. I just got a really big one.
Okay, so we're going to use our 3/4 flat brush. So I'm going to use it with, and I'm going to mix green oxide. I think it's green oxide. Where's my? Might be in here. Yeah. So green oxide. I'm using acrylic paint, and the reason why is I wanted to do watercolor for the boot, and then I wanted to do acrylic for the evergreens. So we're going to do the evergreens. We're going to do 4 parts green, and then 1 part burnt ombre. So 1 part burnt ombre. It's just 1 squeeze. I say 1 squeeze. 1 squeeze. So we're going to paint the greenery coming out of the boot. So I'm going to use a flat brush. All right. So it says to turn the brush and use it as a V shape. So we're going to use it as a V shape. So we're going to do V shapes. So we're just going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start right here. Actually, let's start at the bottom. So we're just going to do V shapes. So I'm going to do So you're just making V shapes. That's all you're doing. If you want to make them sharper, you can make them sharper. Just kind of coming out like that. You see how it's just coming out? Like looks like a whole bunch of pine needles. Let's do one right here. Do that. And I don't like right now it looks really weird, but it'll shape up here in a minute. I might need a smaller paintbrush. Get that one there. Like so, kind of like that. And then we're going to bring one out this way. So I'm going to do one coming out. So I'm actually going to get a smaller paintbrush. I'm going to get a smaller flat brush so I can do that. Yeah, there we go. So a smaller paintbrush. If you need a smaller one, that's okay. So then I'm going to bring this one out. So I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it a little bit. So I'm going to do V shape coming down. I'm going to do this side right here. So sometimes what I like to do is I like to kind of just do one line. I'll do like a line of where I want my little evergreen leaf, right? And then I can do the V shapes going up my branch. There we go, like so. And then I'll do another one right here. So like I like to draw my line. I don't really particularly like this paintbrush either, so. Trying to find the right paintbrush, guys. Okay. Maybe this won't work. Maybe. So like I like to put my line and then I kind of just do my V shapes. Yep, I got some black in that one. That's okay. Like that. It's coming out looking good. Okay. I don't know why I can't find the right paintbrush for all this. Actually, I think the paintbrush I had was just fine. So I might just use that one. I think the paintbrush I had was just fine. All right, so now I'm going to go to the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same concept. So I'm just going to take it to the side. I'm going to do one right here. So we're going to do one right here. So I'm using my line first. And then I'm going to just do my V shape. There we go. Just like that. Same goes right here. I'm just going to do my line to the opposite way and then do my V shapes. For my evergreens. Okay. Same goes again. I'm going to do one line right here. do another line right here if you wanted to. If you want to just go ahead and place your lines, you can. So I'm going to kind of do all of my lines at once, so I'm not sitting here doing them. And then I'm going to bring one line down like this. There we go. And now I'm going to just do my little V shapes. And it's okay if they run into each other, not a big deal. Because you can go back in there and do a little bit of dark stuff, like a little darkening. That's the next step. And then twist it a little bit because I'm going to do V shapes here. It's kind of going off the page, and that's okay. V shape. V shape. As you can see, it looks bushy, and that's what you want. You want it a little bit bushy. There we go. As you can see, there's my evergreen on top of coming out of my boot here. And clean it up a little bit. I can put a little dark color into it if I wanted to. And now we're going to do the little circle Christmas ornaments on it. So now that we have that done, you can go back in. I'll go back in and do a little details to show you how you can do little fine details to your evergreens. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of the darker area